大家好.
Welcome back to China Business One-on-One.
So today we're sporting the sporty sports look, and we're here at the gym because here in China we not only do business activities but we also engage in lots of sports.
Yeah, Leila, you think that in China we Chinese not only play ping pong and badminton?
It's true.
Yes, and right now sports industry is really a big industry. So today we'll invite two sports fans in our class to introduce the sports industries in China comparing with that in US.
So in the US, sports are a big part of the culture and sometimes even associated with schools. So that explains why that the sports industry is worth 450 billion USD, makes up about 2.6% of the entire GDP.
Well, in China, the sports industry only takes up just 49 billion US dollars, and it only takes up 0.6% of the total GDP. However, the growth rate is amazing. We have over 20% growth rate.
The entire industry in the US, the revenue that's generated, most of it comes from ticket sales and the major leagues issuing out licenses. And a small portion comes from the retail goods.
However, in China, we are highly rely on the retail goods industry in sports, and it almost take 80% of the total revenue.
The hottest sports in the US are American football, but we just call it football. You have baseball and you have basketball in that order. So the main drivers are the NFL, the National Football League, which brought in $11 billion in revenue last year. The MLB, Major League Baseball, which brought in about $9 billion in revenue last year. And the NBA, which is the National Basketball Association, which brought in about $4.5 billion in revenue last year.
Well, currently in China, I believe the hottest sports are still soccer and basketball. For football, the Super Football League generates more than 300 million US dollars last year. And for basketball, the CBA generates more than 70 million US dollars last year. However, I think in China, the degree of hottest sports are also decided by the hot stars, such as Lina, and also the big sports event, such as Beijing 2008 Olympic Games, and also decided by our performance in the world.
So in the US, the NFL has the highest network rating. I'm sure you guys have heard of something called Super Bowl Sunday, which generates the most revenue throughout the year in the sports industry. There are major sponsors, there are many sponsors within all three leagues. In the NFL, the major three sponsors are Gatorade, AB InBev, and Verizon. For MLB, AB InBev, New Era, and State Farm, an insurance company. And for the NBA, AB InBev, State Farm, and Gatorade.
You know, in China, the major sponsors are just, sports companies, especially local players, such as Anta, Li Ning, and other sponsors are major from the industries with very high revenue and very great advertisement budget, such as automotive industry. According to the number 46, the document from State Council, we will have a market of 5 trillion RMB by 2025. That's really aggressive. That means we have a growth rate of more than 26% every year. How can we make it? We have three drivers. Firstly, it's a policy. And secondly, it's the urbanization, which gives the building of sports infrastructure. And lastly, is the economic restructuring. Nowadays, China is shifting from manufacturing to service. That means we have great potential in sports service in the future.
Thanks, Howard. Thanks, Dennis. The sports industry in China sounds like it has a lot of potential.
Yeah, so do you want to buy something, buy some stock in sports industry?
Invest in the sports industry? Yes,
Yeah.
When I make my fortunes, I will invest.
Okay, thank you for watching and see you next episode. 不见不散。